Good morning, everyone. This is History of Gaming Lesson 13, the Super Mario Brothers. What was the first Mario game you have ever played? What system was it for? And who showed the game to you? Feel free to write your responses in the open area. I look forward to reading them when you submit your work. Super Mario Brothers, published by Nintendo, the director Shigeru Miyamoto, released September 13th, 1985. They sold 40,240,000 copies, and that is good for 7th on the all-time list. Okay. In the fantasy setting of the Mushroom Kingdom, a tribe of turtle-like creatures known as the Koopa Troopas invade the kingdom and use the magic of its king, Bowser, to turn its inhabitants, known as the Mushroom People, into inanimate objects such as bricks, stones, and horsehair plants. Bowser and his army also kidnap Princess Toadstool, who is the princess of the Mushroom Kingdom, and the only one with the ability to reverse Bowser's spell. After hearing the news, Mario sets out to save the princess and free the kingdom from Bowser's rule. After traveling through various parts of the kingdom, fighting Bowser's forces along the way, Mario reaches Bowser's final stronghold, where he is able to defeat him by striking an axe on the bridge suspended over the lava that he is standing on. This breaks the bridge, defeating Bowser and allowing for the princess to be freed and save the Mushroom Kingdom. Nintendo wanted to maintain their legacy of athletic games with a character that can run and jump through obstacles. The game was made in tandem, meaning at the same time, with The Legend of Zelda, another Famicom game directed and designed by Shigeru Miyamoto, which released in Japan 5 months after Super Mario Bros. Had released. As a result, certain elements were carried over from The Legend of Zelda to Super Mario Bros. For instance, the fire bars, which you can see in the bottom picture. Okay, they were actually unused objects from The Legend of Zelda, so they just transferred them over. Programmers suggested that the use of Mario after seeing the sales figures of the arcade game Mario Brothers. The team chose the name Super after deciding to implement the Super Mushroom into the game. The game initially made use of a concept where Mario and Luigi could enter a rocket ship and drive it around for a while, firing at enemies. But this went unused. But the final game's Sky bonus stages are a remnant of this concept. Fun facts: after releasing Mario Bros., the team had reflected that it had been an illogical gameplay decision for Mario to be hurt by stomping on the walking turtles. So they decided that in the future Mario games, you would definitely have it so that you could jump on all the turtles you want. When designing King Koopa, who is Bowser, Miyamoto initially imagined the character as an ox, taking inspiration from the character design of Ox King in this image to your left from the animation film Alakazam the Great. However, when Tezuka saw Miyamoto's design for the character, he noted that he looked more like a turtle, prompting the two to work on defining and fleshing out the character's design until coming up with his final appearance. The use of mushrooms to change size was influenced by Japanese folktales in which people wander into the forest, eat magical mushrooms. This also resulted in the game world being named the Mushroom Kingdom. The team deliberately chose to not have Mario begin the levels as Super Mario in order to make obtaining a mushroom a more gratifying experience for the player. Blocks containing multiple coins, as seen in the bottom left picture, were actually inspired by programming glitches. Super Mario Bros. 2, again made by Nintendo, but the director this time is Kensuke Tanabe. This game was made in 1988, and they sold 10 million copies. Mario has a dream of a staircase leading to a door to another world. A voice identifies the world as the dreamland of Subcon, and asks for help to defeat the villainous frog named Wart. A tyrant cursed Subcon and its people. Mario suddenly awakes and tells Luigi, Toad, and Princess Peach, who all report experiencing the same dream. The group decides to go on a picnic, but upon arriving, they discover a cave with a long staircase. Through a door at the top, the group are transported to Subcon, revealing that their dreams were real. After defeating Wart, the people of Subcon are freed. The group celebrates, but Mario suddenly awakes in his bed, unsure if the events that took place were real or just a dream. What was to eventually become this new game, Super Mario Bros. 2, originated as a prototype. The game emphasized vertically scrolling levels with two players cooperatively tossing each other and ascending by way of throwing stacking blocks. The title, Yume Kojo's Doki Doki Panic, is derived from Doki Doki, a Japanese onomatopoeia for a quickly beating heart. The game's title and character concept were inspired by a deal between Nintendo and Fuji Television. The Yume Kojo Festival's mascots became the game's protagonists, a family consisting of a boy Imagine, his girlfriend Lena, and his parents Mama and Papa. For the American conversion into Super Mario Bros. 2, they made a lot of graphical changes. Mario, Luigi, Princess Toadstool, and Toad were built upon their respective counterparts, Imagine, Mama, Lena, and Papa. As you can see in the images below, it was a strict change of the characters from one game to the next, and many components remain the same. This was the first time that Mario and Luigi had different heights, and this is the first time that Luigi developed his fluttering characteristic when he jumps, because that was a characteristic given to Mama in the Doki Doki Panic game. Alright, there were only a few alterations for the conversion, but they kept a lot of familiar features. Starmen, sound effects for coins and jumping, POW blocks, warp zones, all of these were brought into both games. Super Mario Bros. 3, published by Nintendo, directed by Takashi Tezuka, released in 1990, and they sold 17 million copies. The Mushroom World, the setting of the game, is invaded by the Koopalings, which are Bowser's 7 children. The Koopalings conquer each of the 7 kingdoms by stealing the king's magic wand and transforming the king into an animal. Princess Toadstool sends Mario and Luigi to travel to each kingdom, retrieve the stolen wand, and restore its king to normal. Mario and Luigi receive notes and special items from Princess Toadstool after rescuing each of the first 6 kings, but when they rescue the 7th king, they receive a note from Bowser saying that he has kidnapped the princess and imprisoned her within his own realm, the Darkland. Mario and Luigi travel to Darkland, enter his castle, and defeat Bowser in battle. The game ends with Toadstool being freed from the castle. This game takes place as a stage play. It features a stage curtain, which you can see at the top, and during the game, objects hang from off-screen catwalks and are bolted to the backgrounds, hence the shadows from the lighting onto the stage. Alright, there's 8 kingdoms, and each one has their own theme. For example, a desert land, a giant land where the enemies are larger, and there's a lot of new power-ups in this game, which you can see. The Super Leaf, the Tanuki suit are just some of them. The Frog suit increased the character's underwater speed, agility, and jumping height on land. The Hammer suit gives Mario the appearance of a hammer bro and allows him to throw hammers and be resistant to fire. They did a great job in Mario Odyssey, the newest game for the Switch, in incorporating all of those power-ups. Super Mario Bros. Is acclaimed by critics as one of the greatest video games of all time. It is the 3rd best-selling NES game, having sold over 17 million copies worldwide. Even though the original sold 40 million, it was sold as a bundle with the NES, so those numbers are inflated. Super Mario Bros. 3 is the best-selling unbundled game of all time. It also inspired a short-lived animation television series, which you can see in the top left. Alright. Super Mario Bros. 3 appearance in the film The Wizard was a show-stealing element, and many referred to the movie as a 90-minute commercial for the Super Mario Bros. 3 game. As of 2011, Super Mario Bros. 3 remains the highest-grossing non-bundled home video game to date, grossing $1.7 billion. All right, and feel free if you want to type this in, or it'll be on my website, to watch the Super Mario Bros. Show.